Errol Spence. We was hearing that he was supposed to have a fight December. First, it was they said the fighter was announced.a. Then they say the WBC was pushing for Keith Thurman to be his next fight for the WBC mandatory. And then I'm hearing that he's not even fighting anybody this year. And Errol Spence said that his next fight is not going to be a tune-up. That was kind of a dig at Terence Crawford's fight with David Avenesian. He's pretty much saying Crawford's fight is a tune-up fight. But Jaron Ennis is also in line for all three of Errol Spence's IBF, WBC, and the WBA strap. He's the top. He's in the top five. I forgot. I believe Boots is number 2 in. He's number 1 in one of them. I think IBF, and then he's number 2 with the other 2 belts. So the question is, who's Errol Spence's next fight? If he's saying it's not a tune-up, meaning it's a tough fight, right? So you would say Keith Thurman is a semi-tough fight. I don't think Keith Thurman is going to be an easy fight for Errol, but I don't think it's going to be the hardest either. So Keith Thurman's probably right there as being not a tune-up, because Keith Thurman is not a tune-up, man. He's still an excellent fighter. He only has 1 loss. He's got power, decent power, respectable power. But he hasn't been really active like that. You know, Barrios was his last fight. Got hurt in the Barrios fight, and he didn't really get him out of there. You know, you're not going to always get the knockout, but, I mean, he did break Barrios' nose, it looks like. So Keith Thurman definitely can pose some issues for Errol Spence, especially since I keep telling you, I think Errol Spence, I think that accident knocked a lot of screws loose in him, man. I'm not even, like, being funny when I say that. I'm really serious. I think the accident knocked some screws out of his head, man, because he does a lot of weird shit in the ring, man. So I'm chalking it up to that accident caused that, you know. But if it's not Keith Thurman, who's another tough fight? Word is he might be moving up to 154, and then right there stands at the door Sebastian Fundora, which would be another difficult fight for Errol Spence. But Jaron Ennis is the man at 147 as well. And, you know, people are saying, well, why didn't Bud fight Boots? Well, I mean, he's in line more with Errol Spence belts than he is for Terence Crawford's belts, if I'm not mistaken, for the WBO. But it's not even about that. It'll be since you guys, you know, y'all like talking that side of the street shit all the time, wouldn't it be easier for the Errol and the Boots fight to get made? Boots is a Showtime fighter. Errol's a PBC fighter, but, you know, they're all family over there. You know, PBC, Mayweather Promotion, Showtime, they're all the same. But, you know, Showtime is going through their little thing right now. They're being worked over right now. So there's a lot of management changes going on. There's some things going on with Showtime. So it's not certain what's going to happen with that. But the thing is, what if Errol Spence did pick Jaron Ennis to fight? What if that is his next fight? And maybe if that is, man, is that him trying to prove a point, man? Like, he's trying to, well, he tried to one-up on Terence Crawford by picking the Boots fight. I think if he does that, man, that will probably give Errol Spence some more credibility. If he took the Boots fight, that would definitely give him more credibility, man, than he got right now. Because right now, he's taking all of the brunt for Al Heyman's fucking shenanigans, man. And a lot of that shit you can put on Errol Spence too, you know, for being a little bit too nonchalant. He's being very protective of Al Heyman. And it's funny because when it was Terence Crawford saying that Bob Arum he has a good heart, you don't know his heart and all this other shit, everybody was flaming Bud for it, man. But why is it any different if Errol Spence is protecting a fucking dude that's shitting on his fighters as well? You know what I mean? And it doesn't matter what color it is, you're still slaving. You can slave for somebody that's your own skin color. It don't have to be somebody white or somebody Asian or whatever. You can still slave for your own people. That's still being a fucking work slave. It doesn't really matter what color the fucking slave driver is. Slave driver's a fucking slave driver, bro. I don't want to be under nobody's thumb, bro. Black, white, whoever it is. You know what I'm saying? But if he takes this fight with Boots, because Bozy Ennis pushed for the IBF mandatory. He petitioned for it, so I don't know what's going on with that. Maybe that'll jump in front of Keith Thurman, but the WBC, man, for some reason that shit it reigns supreme over all the other sanctioning bodies. So I think more than likely, Suleiman and them will get their wish, and it'll more than likely be a Keith Thurman. You know what I'm saying? But if Errol's supposed to be the belt, he's supposed to be the big fish. He's the guy. Why not take a Boots in his fight, right? I mean, after all, Keith Thurman, as tough of a good opponent as he is, he hasn't been hurt. He has a vulnerability to the body, so he has a loss. Boots Ennis, he's challenging, man. Everybody want to see one of the best, which is Errol Spence, fight a kid that is supposed to be the next in line. So we want to see if you can smoke this kid or if the kid's gonna smoke you. Period. Terence Crawford, I would love to see that fight with him and Boots as well, but that ain't what it is right now. You know what I'm saying? After all, I thought Bud ain't the big fish, right? Errol Spence says he's the one with all the belts, right? He's the big fish of the division, and he's the guy, right? All right, so step in there with a guy that they say is gonna be the guy, and knock him off, and then everybody look at you like, yeah, okay, this is the guy in Boots that looked unstoppable. Errol Spence stopped him or beat him for 12 rounds. Yeah, so whatever. That wouldn't take anything away from Boots. Just that somebody just was a level above him. So interesting to see what's the next fight for Errol Spence. So we don't know yet, man. It's either probably going to be these guys right here. Announced.a, Keith Thurman, Jaron Boots Ennis, or Sebastian Fundora. It got to be one of those four. Pick and choose. It's your boy Rebel Life Boxing. Let me know what you think about this. Drop a comment, man. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel for more Rebel content. You heard? Definitely see y'all on the next one. Peace out.